This is the award-winning Lee Pitts Live.
Brought to you by the North Law Firm. For car accidents and negligent security cases, call Joe at 239-337-1191. By Crime Stoppers of Southwest Florida. Report crimes and get paid with nobody knowing your identity. 1-800-700-TIPS. And by Lee Health. Southwest Florida, welcome to another edition of Lee Pitts Live. We're so thrilled to come to you from this fabulous healthcare facility, Suncoast Medical Centers of Southwest Florida. Located in the heart of Lehigh. Be sure to contact them for your medical needs. They have a great leadership here in Jahida Vasquez. We have a fabulous show in store for you this morning. Finally, we got him here in the studio. We've gotten a chance to talk to him at the Easter Parade in Dunbar. We got the chief of the Fort Myers Fire Department, John Caufield, is here. We also get a chance to get him in here finally. Caribbean Groove is back, and they'll be here. The great Caribbean band that's one of the best Caribbean bands in the country. All that's happening on Lee Pitts Live. We'll be right back. Southwest Florida, welcome back. We're so thrilled to get him here. Let's bump him in. First time on the set. The chief of the Fort Myers Fire Department, John Caufield. I think, Chief, you now closing out your second year in your tenure.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I've been here 2 years. Love it.
Let's give a little background on you. Where were you before you came here, and how you finding, running the fire department here in Fort Myers?
Well, I came from Rochester, New York. Third generation firefighter, grandfather, father, now my oldest son. So I did 27 years there in Rochester, retired, and did some safety consulting for the National Fire Protection Association. But the truth be told, I miss being in the uniform side of the fire service, and that's how I ended up here in Fort Myers.
Okay, so this was a great opportunity for you to come down to this warm weather and be around some great people and put your stamp on the way that the fire department is going here in Fort Myers. When you arrived here, the fire department was what, and what are some changes that have happened already?
Well, I think the first thing that I recognize is that the fire department wasn't sort of out there visible enough, in my opinion. You know, we're part of the community. We have to interact with the community. We got to be out. We just got to be present. You know, so we started going to community meetings. We started, doing this show. And I apologize it's taken me so long to get here, but it's a whole bunch of little community, large and small community events. And we take our firefighters out. It's not just me. It's the department at large. It's all our folks. We got to get out from behind the doors.
Well, I tell you, it's really cool for me because growing up, I always kind of looked up to the firemen. You know, they came to the school. They had the equipment, the axe and the hat, the fancy hat and all of that. And so to have the fire chief on the show, and I think other than when I talked to you out at the parade, I think in my 28 years of being on the air, this is my first time actually interviewing a fire chief. So that says something about you getting out there and making connections with the community. You want the community to see the fire department as like its fire department. You want to be community involved. You want to be touching people and socially as well, right?
That's exactly it. I look at this, we're in a service business, right? We're here to try to make somebody's bad day just a little bit better or a little less worse. And the best way we can do that is to try to be sort of proactive and understand what's going on in the communities, in individual neighborhoods or pockets of the neighborhoods. And so we got to be out there with the people to hear what their concerns are, what their issues are, and where we can make a positive impact on that. And that's really how I see the biggest part of my job.
What are some notable activities that are happening with the city of Fort Myers Fire Department?
Well, as I said, we go to probably 8 or 10 community meetings per month, a couple a week, I'd say on average. But the Dunbar Parade, the firefighters have been around for years. In the parade, sometimes off duty, sometimes on duty. Some of our folks on their off duty times are more engaged in the community. But I really want this to be part of the whole department. So, we got the Dunbar Easter Parade.
I thought one of the coolest things, I see the firemen moving around in the city. But I was on the River District. Recently, I put on an event there called Lee Pitts Live After Work. Draws about 150 people to this club downtown. And it was on a Friday evening. And I just saw walking your firemen were just, I don't know if it was art walk of what was going on, I saw Tim and a couple other firemen just walking with their T-shirts on.
Yep.
And I said, you guys are like walking around down here in case of emergency? They said, yeah. And they were just mingling and had their eyes open. Tell me about that. Is that a particular patrol you do during large crowds?
We do that for formal events, music walk, art walk, and so on and so forth. Some of the bike festivals and all those kinds of things. We do it there formally. We actually just got a new, basically an ATV, where we're going to start doing patrols downtown. So we're just out there being visible. But half of our firefighters are paramedics in the city of Fort Myers, and so they're going to have medic gear. But if something happens, they can be in communication with the 911 center. They can get the fire truck down there. They can be in touch with law enforcement or EMS or whatever the case might be. But our folks are out there. They'll be driving along the streets. They'll be out interacting with folks if nothing's going on. But they're another set of eyes and ears. But you also understand what's going on and what the concerns are of the community, what it means when you bring a whole mass of people into a small area like downtown. How do we navigate that? And we've got our eyes and ears on the ground.
You're really excited about your recruitment class now, right? Will they come in, then they have a graduation ceremony?
Yes. For the first time, I think, ever, we've run a formal recruit class. So we've got 9 firefighters coming through. They're about halfway through their recruit school. We have a family night, so they're inviting their families in so we can bring their families into the Fort Myers Fire Department family. But these 9 folks graduate June 21st, and a couple days thereafter, they'll be riding the fire trucks.
What's the requirement to become a firefighter?
Well, there's a couple different ways. One is minimally you have to be at least 18 years old. You need to have a GED or a high school diploma at a minimum. Lots of our folks are college educated. Most have EMT or paramedic certification. So that's sort of one side. But really, probably the most common route for people to become firefighters is they go through firefighter training. Here in Fort Myers, we've got the Southwest Florida Fire Academy, and they do law enforcement training. So you go through the training there, and then you're eligible to be hired by a fire department once you have those certificates. And that's what we've done. So we've got 9 spectacularly fantastic people busting their butts to be great firefighters and serve the community.
How does our wages here in Fort Myers compare to other comparable cities?
Well, comparable is kind of a funny thing. So here in Lee County, there's 21 fire departments. And I'm not sure most people understand that, but there's 21 fire departments throughout the county.
No, people don't understand that.
Yeah, and most of those are fire districts, so they're little autonomous government units, let's say. But so we've got the city of Cape Coral, city of Fort Myers, city of Bonita Springs. The rest are all fire districts for the most part, so that, as I said, they're autonomous. So we, God, I'm losing my train of thought, but.
I was talking about wages.
Right. So some of the fire districts pay a little bit more. The cities all pay roughly the same. And it depends on, we give an incentive for college education, we give an incentive for paramedics and several other things. It's a good, solid, middle-class job in terms of financially, and of course, as you get promoted, there are some pay enhancements. Nobody's ever gotten rich being a firefighter, but it's way more important.
Are people still excited? When I was a kid, fireman walks into the classroom, you still got that, you still feeling that excitement when you walk in and children see you?
Yeah, absolutely. But it's not just little kids. I tell you, we go into the senior communities, and there's still people that have touch points somewhere in their life to deal with firefighters. And that sort of reinforces my whole message of being out there in the community. It makes you feel great when you're out there and you put a smile on somebody's face. There's nothing better than that.
Mm-hmm. What are some key things people can do with their residence or their business to make it safer?
Well, first thing I always talk about is smoke alarms, right? Your home should be the safest place that you're there. You should be safest in your home, let's say that. We don't want finances or lack of finances to be a barrier to that, so that's why we've got a very aggressive smoke alarm program. We'll come out, you call my office, we'll have somebody out there before nightfall so that you're safe in your home. We'll send our firefighters right out there. It may not be in 10 minutes, but within an hour or two before nightfall,
And they will install
we'll install smoke detectors for free. All we need you to do is sign a release basically accepting them. That's all there is to it.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, we've put in thousands.
We got to continue to keep getting that word out there.
Yep.
This is a place to get that word out. I can see us continuing to pound that message. So once you get that smoke detector, the safety of your house goes up substantially percentage-wise?
Yes, and it's a safety, it's an early alert mechanism. It allows you enough time to get out of your house quickly. You know, we still preach the same safety messages. You know, stay with your food when you're cooking. Don't leave it unattended. Make sure everything's turned off and so on and so forth before you go to bed at night. But if you hear that alarm, make sure your family knows what to do immediately. Don't mess around. You got to get out of the house. And so that's one side of it. The education side is another piece. And there's a third simple thing that people don't really think about is sleep with your doors closed. That simple plywood door, little thin door, will give you at least 20 minutes of fire protection. Now I can speak to probably anywhere in Lee County. There's no place in the county that we wouldn't get a fire truck to you in less than 20 minutes. In the city of Fort Myers, it's probably on average about 6 minutes before a firefighter arrives on scene. And you know, if there is, God forbid, a fire, you're in your bedroom. You don't have to jump out of the window or anything crazy like that. Keep your door closed. When the smoke detector activates, get out. But if for some reason you can't, you're safe in your room. We'll come and get you.
You have a new station is online, right?
Not quite. It's in the planning processes on 6 Mile. And it's really, so it's south of Colonial on 6 Mile by Heritage Palms. And it's really as a result of the growth in this community. You know, our call volume, as we get more people in Fort Myers and in Lee County at large, our call volume's up like 26% in the past 3 years or so. So there's more people, there's more calls, there's more traffic. But we've got an area of the city that we have not been able to serve that's expanding rapidly, so we're building a station there.
Well, Chief, we're so thrilled to have you in the community. We're so excited about our fire department in the city of Fort Myers and all the great things that you guys are doing. Keep up the good work, and we look forward to getting you and representatives from your fire department on the show in the coming years, coming months, and so on throughout.
Well,
it's a regular staple on the show.
I love it. I love it. And I love when I hear you say our fire department, because it is our fire department. It's everybody's fire department. Okay. I happen to be the chief and be very fortunate to be that.
You're cool. As the saying goes on this particular show, for those who say it can't be done, they're usually interrupted by those like the Fort Myers Fire Department's finest who are doing it. When we come back, Caribbean Groove will be here.